What's up, gamers? Welcome back to Vixie Gaming. If you're new to the channel, you're in for a treat because Dragonite was just released in Pokemon Unite. It's a ton of fun to play, but it has a bunch of hidden mechanics that aren't listed anywhere in the game. I haven't seen them anywhere else yet, so we're gonna do a video on it. I'm your host, Tyler. This is our mascot, Vixie. Say hi, Vixie. Today, I'm going to share 7 different hidden mechanics that I've found so far for Dragonite, as well as some little tips and tricks scattered throughout, just based on the testing I've done so far with damage numbers and scaling and stuff like that. And I think it'll help you to have a lot more fun playing Dragonite, or maybe even playing against Dragonite. With that, let's get started. So let's start with Hyper Beam. We're starting with the least interesting ones, and we're getting to the most interesting and most secret ones at the end. Hyper Beam has a very long range compared to even most Pokemon's attacks. But there's kind of some caveats that come along with that. For one, the further you go, the longer it's going to take for the attack to actually get to the target. So for the most part, when you're about to land the attack, it'll actually automatically turn based on where the enemy is. So like this Ludicolo, he's going to move, and I'm not holding the right stick at all, and it automatically turns towards the opponent that you targeted initially. But if they do some kind of a dash after the attack itself launches, they can totally get out of the way. So the further away they are, they have a bigger chance of doing that. This move does target everything that's in that line, but you have that moment before it launches to kind of position yourself to get the most enemies. In the actual description of the attack, it says that he can't act while using this move, but he totally can up until the actual beam goes. Okay, let's talk about Dragon Dance. There's a couple of hidden mechanics that I found with Dragon Dance. For one, it says in the description of the attack that it enhances Hyper Beam, but it doesn't say in what way. And so I was thinking, like, does it make Hyper Beam faster, increase range? Does it make it so you don't have the hindrance afterwards? And the answer is none of these. It literally is just more damage. It just does more damage. That's the only thing that I've been able to find so far that it does. How much more damage? If you want to find out the actual damage calculations, you can go to Unite DB. But just to kind of put it into perspective for you, from my testing, I'll put the damage numbers on that I found using it on Audinos, but each stack was doing about 33% more damage. So when I had all 3 stacks, I was doing about double damage with Hyper Beam. And just for a comparison, I'll also put the stack scaling with Outrage, because it's a huge difference. With Outrage, we were only doing an extra 5% damage per stack, whereas with Hyper Beam, 33% more damage per stack. Next, we have an interesting one. It was maybe by sheer luck that I caught this, but Dragon Dance, you've probably noticed, sometimes it's a curve and sometimes it's straight. So what the heck is going on? It's actually very simple. It's just straight, curve that way, straight, curve that way, curve that way. It's just, you just got 3 different ones. But what's interesting that I noticed is that the straight one has a shorter animation. So if you want to attack, I can start attacking quicker. It's not a big difference, but it can make a difference in a team fight, right? If I want to do this one, it's a little bit longer before I can start attacking. I don't know, it's just something to keep in mind, because if you want to make sure that you're able to attack as quickly as possible after you launch that Dragon Dance, you might want to hold on to a straight Dragon Dance rather than a curved Dragon Dance. Okay, I think we're at number 4 now of hidden mechanics. So ending Outrage will cancel your scoring. If I use Outrage and I beat some people up, and then I go to score, it will cancel my score. And what really sucks is if you use Outrage like here and you go to score and you're like super close to scoring, and then it cancels your score. So you need to be aware of that. You need to keep that in mind. You can score during Outrage, like right here I actually can with 28 points, but if you had 50, maybe not. You might not make it. You probably won't make it, so you might want to wait till after the Outrage before you even try, or you're going to get stuck in a bad position. This also happens with your Unite move. So if you use Outrage and you're beating some people up, and now you want to use your Unite move to maybe get over here, you're trying to figure out where to go. It took me all the way back here just to show me, hey, you got hindered, man. And then this also happens if you're trying to go back to base. So I can use Outrage, and then now I try to head back to base, and it will cancel that. And now I'm dead. However, there is some light at the end of the tunnel. For example, if I use Outrage and I'm close to the end of Outrage and I don't want to have to deal with the hindrance and I was going to use my Unite move, yeah, you can cancel it by using your Unite move. We didn't have to deal with a hindrance there. Another, and I would say more important way to cancel that hindrance is by just using Outrage again. So we can use Outrage, and then as we use our boosted basic attacks, it decreases our move cooldowns, including Outrage, so we can use it again before it's done, as long as we're landing hits. So we can actually just create this perpetual tantrum that Dragonite's just ticked off and just beating people up. As long as you can stay close and keep attacking, and you could use Dragon Dance and Extreme Speed to get in close. What we can't do is we can't just chain these and then do an Outrage to continue it without the hindrance. If during that Extreme Speed animation that ends, you still have to deal with the hindrance. Now, it doesn't say this anywhere. I haven't seen this anywhere. Let me see if Unite DB updated this, because yeah, it doesn't even say this on Unite DB, but I'm pretty dang sure, you guys, that when you use Outrage, your crit rate goes through the roof. There are so many crits. So many crits. Way more than 20% crits. So it doesn't say that anywhere. It seems to be maybe around double, because right now my crit rate should be about 20%. But when I was calculating it before, it was somewhere around 40. So something to keep in mind. Tip number 7 is actually to do with Extreme Speed. Now, Extreme Speed seems really boring. It seemed really boring to me until I started testing it, and I actually used it up against the bees. It only does 611 damage against the doll, and that's actually accurate. But when you use it on an enemy, not only does it stun the enemy like it says, but it actually pushes all the close enemies away and stuns them as well. So you're actually getting a ton of CC from that move. Now, something to keep in mind with this is that I think this actually makes it not pair very well with Hyper Beam, because what you want to do with Hyper Beam is get the enemies in a line or in a group, and you want to use it on all of them if you can, because you're doing way more damage per second, right? But if you use Extreme Speed and then a Hyper Beam, I don't have Hyper Beam right now, but you're pushing all the enemies away from each other. Now they're, even if they were in a line, like they're not anymore, or if they were in a group, they're not anymore, and you use that Hyper Beam, you're not able to hit all of them at once anymore. It's going to take some testing and people playing this and trying it out, but to me, Extreme Speed and Outrage are the ones that go together the best, and Dragon Dance and Hyper Beam are the ones that go together the best as well. This is super funny. I actually had an 8th one in here, and it was that the Fire It boosted basic attack doesn't do more damage like it's supposed to, but I think they fixed it right before I recorded the video, because they released a hotfix. They actually have the names for the attacks now. They didn't have that before, so it's nice to see that they were able to fix that so quickly. It was really weird and screwed up. Alright, so if you learned something new, please leave a like on the video, comment that thing below, or you can comment what build are you excited to use with Dragonite, or maybe something that I've missed. I want this video to actually go out so people can see it. This is a tiny, brand new channel still, so every little bit that you can do to help it spread, it really helps, and I really, really do appreciate it. I think for me, I actually think I'm gonna end up rolling with the Hyper Beam Dragon Dance combo, but we'll see. We'll have to play around with it, and it's gonna take some more time to figure out this Pokemon. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace out.